In our journey through the hidden life of trees, we discovered the secret social network that connects the forest, the wood wide web. We learned that trees can talk, that they share resources, and that they nurture their young. But we only told half the story. We focused on the trees. We never truly asked, what is this mysterious underground network? What is the strange and ancient intelligence that runs this biological internet? Merlin Sheldrake's brilliant and mind-bending book, Entangled Life, is the answer to that question. It is a deep, thrilling and often psychedelic journey into the kingdom of fungi, a world of organisms that are not plant, not animal, but something else entirely, a third kingdom of life that is the hidden architect of our world. This book is more than just a tour of fascinating organisms. It is a profound philosophical inquiry that will challenge your most basic ideas about what it means to be an individual, what it means to be intelligent, and what it means to be alive. This is the story of the great connectors, the great decomposers, and the great transformers. This is the story of the planet's hidden consciousness. When you think of a fungus, you probably picture a mushroom, but according to Sheldrake, that's like looking at an apple and thinking you're seeing the entire apple tree. The mushroom is just the fruit, the temporary reproductive structure. The real organism, the main body of the fungus, is a vast, sprawling and largely invisible network of tiny thread-like filaments called mycelium. This mycelial network is a biological wonder. It is a living, growing and exploring web that permeates the soil, weaves through wood and even lives inside the cells of plants. It is a decentralized, ever-changing network, a living lace that holds our world together. The largest known organism on planet Earth is not a blue whale or a giant redwood tree. It is a single honey mushroom in Oregon. A mycelial network that covers over 2,000 acres, is thousands of years old, and is almost entirely hidden from our view. Fungi are not plants. They cannot produce their own food through photosynthesis. And they are not animals, though in some ways they are closer to us than they are to plants. They are a kingdom of their own, with a completely different way of being in the world. They are masters of exploration and absorption. A mycelial network is a constantly branching and fusing web, a distributed intelligence that is always mapping its environment, searching for food and forming relationships. It is a living process, not a static thing. As we learned in the hidden life of trees, the most important work that fungi do is to form symbiotic partnerships with plants. Over 90% of all plants on Earth depend on these partnerships. This is the wood wide web. But Sheldrake takes us deeper, showing us the world from the fungus's point of view. The relationship is a trade. The plant, through photosynthesis, creates sugar. The fungus, with its vast and microscopic network, is a master at mining the soil for essential nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. They meet underground, at the plant's root tips, and they make a deal. The fungus gives the plant the minerals it needs, and the plant gives the fungus the sugar it needs to survive. But Sheldrake shows that this is not just a simple one-to-one transaction. The mycelial network is a complex and dynamic marketplace. It connects not just one plant to one fungus, but dozens or even hundreds of plants together into a single, interconnected community. The network acts as a shared resource pool. A tree in the sun can send sugar through the network to a tree in the shade. The network can move water and nutrients around the forest to where they are needed most. Even more incredibly, the network seems to display a form of intelligence. Sheldrake describes experiments where mycelial networks have solved complex puzzles, finding the most efficient pathway through a maze to reach a source of food. They do this without a central brain, without a command center. The intelligence is distributed throughout the entire network. Each tiny tip of the mycelium is sensing and responding to its environment, and the collective behavior of the entire network is a form of emergent intelligence. It is a living underground brain that is constantly processing information and making decisions. This is the intelligence that truly runs the forest. Beyond their role as connectors, fungi have another equally vital job. They are the great decomposers. They are the planet's digestive system. Without fungi, the world as we know it would cease to exist. We would be buried hundreds of feet deep under a mountain of dead plants and trees. Plants are largely made of two tough, resilient materials, cellulose and lignin. Almost nothing can break down lignin. But fungi evolved a unique set of enzymes that allow them to do just that. Fungi are the great recyclers. They take the complex materials of dead organisms and they break them down, returning those essential nutrients to the soil so that new life can grow. They are the bridge between death and life. They are the engines of the planet's constant regeneration. This power to decompose is also a power to create. The very soil that we depend on for all of our agriculture is, in large part, a creation of fungi. They are the architects of the rich, dark, fertile earth that sustains us. Sheldrake also explores the incredible potential of this digestive power to help us solve some of our most pressing environmental problems. This is the field of mycoremediation. Scientists are discovering that certain types of fungi can be trained to eat some of the most toxic substances we have created. There are fungi that can break down diesel fuel. There are fungi that can clean up nerve gas. There are even fungi that have been found to be able to decompose plastic. This ancient earthly intelligence, he suggests, may hold the key to cleaning up the messes of our modern industrial world. Strange bedfellows. The philosophical puzzle of lichens. To explore the truly mind-bending nature of fungal relationships, Sheldrake takes us on a journey into the world of lichens. You've seen lichens everywhere, the colorful, crusty patches that grow on rocks and tree bark. But what is a lichen? The answer, it turns out, is a philosophical puzzle. A lichen is not a single organism. It is a composite, a stable, symbiotic partnership between a fungus and an alga, or a cyanobacterium. The fungus creates the structure, the house, that protects the alga from the harsh environment. The alga, in turn, performs photosynthesis, creating the sugar that feeds them both. They are two completely different forms of life that have fused together so completely that they have become a new thing. Lichens challenge our most basic ideas about what it means to be an individual. Where does the fungus end and the alga begin? The question doesn't even make sense. They are an I that is made of a we. Sheldrake uses the lichen as a powerful metaphor to argue that all life is far more entangled than we think. We like to think of ourselves as autonomous individuals. But your own body is a vast ecosystem, home to trillions of bacteria and fungi without which you could not survive. Our relationships with the plants and animals we eat, with the air we breathe, with the soil under our feet, these are not external to us. They are a part of us. Like the lichen, we are all composite beings, deeply and inextricably entangled with the world around us. The illusion of the separate individual self is one of the great myths that the fungal kingdom helps us to unravel. Changing our minds, the psychedelic connection. No exploration of the fungal kingdom would be complete without a journey into one of its most mysterious and powerful creations, psilocybin, the psychoactive compound found in magic mushrooms. Sheldrake approaches this topic not from a recreational perspective but from a scientific and philosophical one. He asks a simple question: why do fungi produce these compounds that have such a profound effect on the human mind? He explores the possibility that these compounds are a form of interspecies chemical communication, a way for the fungal kingdom to directly interact with the consciousness of animals. He delves into the modern scientific renaissance in psychedelic research. He explains how psilocybin works on the brain, primarily by temporarily quieting a part of the brain called the default mode network. This network is, essentially, the home of our ego. It's the part of the brain that is responsible for our sense of a separate narrative self, the part that worries about the past and plans for the future. When this network is turned down by psilocybin, something remarkable happens. People report a dissolving of their ego. The sense of being a separate I fades away, and it is replaced by a profound sense of interconnectedness, a feeling of being one with the world, with the universe. It is an experience that is often described as one of the most meaningful and spiritual of a person's entire life. This experience has been shown in clinical trials to have a remarkable therapeutic effect, helping people to break free from rigid patterns of thought associated with depression, addiction, and anxiety. The psychedelic experience, Sheldrake suggests, is a chemical shortcut to the very same philosophical insight that the rest of the book reveals, that the idea of the separate self is an illusion, and that we are all part of a vast entangled web of life. The fungi, in their strange chemical wisdom, seem to have created a key that can unlock a door in our own minds, a door that leads to a more profound and connected way of being. The ultimate message of Entangled Life is a call to wonder. It is an invitation to look at the world with new eyes and to recognize the vast, hidden and deeply intelligent life that is humming and weaving its way all around us and beneath us. Fungi challenge our neat categories of plant and animal, of individual and community, of life and death. They are the great connectors, the masters of relationship, and their quiet, ancient and often psychedelic wisdom may be exactly what we need to learn to heal our relationship with our planet and with ourselves. It is a deep inquiry into the very nature of life. If you are ready to have your mind expanded by the strange and beautiful wisdom of this hidden kingdom, you are in the right place. Welcome to Geeky Philosopher. Subscribe and let's continue to explore the mind-bending frontiers of our world together.